Welcome in, everybody. This is, I think, the last day of this month, and theme, hopefully, well, theme will extend into June as well, because that's also mental health. So, yeah. Last night, we were assigned a tutor, which is Jazo. So that's gonna be fun. And we were getting to know each other with icebreaker questions. So we asked things like Jazo having Tourette's and how it's different from the stereotypical portrayal of it. We talked about knowing basic French with Jazo. And we got...
Change this. That is my gift to you.
What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Hey, hi, welcome in. What are you doing and why are you doing that? How are you feeling, by the way? Still sick? Getting better? Thank you so much for the gift itself, Mika. Oh my god, I totally forgot. Angie. It is just me. My stream is lagging. It does seem like it's lagging a little bit. Are we gonna have to quit this game as well then? So I was saying Angie came in after you went for lurking and probably fell asleep. Angie came in, was like, I just missed Mika again, and he gave you a bunch of hugs. So yeah, what's with Angie? Oh yeah, I just said what? There's a lot of delay in the chat with the stream. Sorry about that. It happened yesterday as well. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm guessing it's my laptop overheating. So I'm gonna speedrun this game, or try to speedrun this game today, because I want to try to finish it in this month. So yeah, let's start. We have a question for Jazo, which is if she has any hobbies, anything unique. I took a screenshot of it all, whatever Angie said, and the hugs and stuff, but I forgot to send it to you. But yeah, I'll send it right now. Oh, and he redeemed write something using a word thing, and I have to write something on the word candy, which I also forgot to do last stream, so I did it later off stream, and I'm gonna show it to him when he pops in. Let me just send you the... There. Sent you the screenshots. Candy, huh? Yeah, candy. Last lesson was math class. Oh. How did that go? Oh yeah, sorry, in the game, yeah. So sweet of him, no? How do I answer this tastefully? Yeah, I used to hike until oh, that was a question to us. Okay. Hike until I fell off a mountain. Well, I do lots of outdoor stuff. My family, specifically my brother, got me into it. Okay, that'll do. Mostly hiking nowadays. Not bad. Other than that, not much else. I'm glad there's a walking trail here on campus, or I'd probably get some kind of cabin fever. Sounds like a very involved hobby. I walk the trails too. It's where my club meets up. Oh, I run the astronomy club here on campus, so I'm used to going out to do some stargazing. Oh my god, I was just thinking about today that if we could stargaze in this game. Because, you know, the name is Missing Stars. Wow, that's so cool. Can we do stargazing? I am so damn tired recently. I can understand. You're sick too, so that might have something to do with it. But I hope you get some good rest and feel better soon. There you go, a hug for you. A lot of people are actually tired recently. I guess it's just in the air too, technically. Big hugs to you, Mika. Really? That sounds pretty interesting. What do you all do? The way I run things, we generally do research activities to learn more about topics related to astronomy. We also do bi-monthly stargazing sessions using oh my god, that's so cool! That's so cool! I know, stargazing is nice! Whoa, almost sounds like another class from the way you describe it. Aw, thank you for the hug, Nico. Well, I'm not as strict a teacher, that's for sure. It's pretty laid back, and I try my best to encourage participation. How long have you been doing it? I became president only recently, but I've been at the club my whole time here. It's been a lot of fun. I can tell. We can stargaze together. Yay! I hope we can. If not, one day I want to stargaze in real life too. So one day I'll go stargazing and I'll maybe share that on live on Discord or something. We can do it together that way too. Maybe joining a club full time wouldn't be half bad. The newspaper club is at least led by Lena, who's probably just as passionate about journalism as Jaso is about astronomy. Oh, by the way, we call her Jaso. I'm not sure if you were around at that time, but I couldn't pronounce her name right. I kept on like saying Janine, Jenny, Jeannie, and stuff like just not right pronunciation. So NG and I and CJ kind of we settled on to Jazo. Jazo's given me something to think about. I'm glad you've had your fun. You had fun at your club. That's really neat stuff you're doing. Yeah, I sure think so. Jazo reaches into her bag and opens up a small notebook. Only club I would join full-time is full-time. Fair enough. I would join the literature one and the stargazing one, make them both part-time, so that it's technically full-time of clubs. But two things I love. Oh, and I kind of ended up writing a story based on my emotes. So there's that. I will share that in the ad break, the link to that. Jazo reaches. Okay, I read that. Oh, before I forget, let's see. My schedule is pretty open today for tutoring. How about we meet up in the school library at 17:30? That works for me. I don't have anything going on after school. Perfect. Okay, I'll see you later, Erik. Gotta get to my class next. Next class. Sounds good. See you later. Okay, bye. Jazo makes her exit. Ah, did Jazo leave already? Yeah, she had to get to class. I see. Well, take your seat for now, Erik. Your classmates will be here in a minute. I have to say, that went better than I thought it would. Jazo wasn't what I expected from a student tutor. Nothing like the hard-nosed stuffed shirt I had as tutors at my old school. It's still disappointing to know that the administration has already figured out that I'm not the best student. I mean, it's just because you're new, you know? And we all need a little help. Maybe I'm putting too much weight on this morning's meeting, but I like to think that I could have faked the star student role for at least a week. It's not even about that. Maybe I can turn it around today. Yeah, if I keep telling myself that, I'm sure it will happen. You remind me of someone, Erik. The small victories are already starting to pile up as I manage to make my way to the seat without embarrassing myself while everyone else filters into the class for homeroom. The morning's announcements pass by with a little fanfare, and before I know it, it's time for maths. About half the class gets up to leave, the others staying behind. They're soon replaced by other students, and among them I spot my neighbor from last time. The girl with the perpetual earphones. Oh, hello there! She drifts over to her desk next to mine without looking around, seemingly unaware of the world around her. While I might still be at the stage of not quite being able to put a name to every student, I am starting to recognize quite a few faces. I'm sure I haven't seen her a single time since Monday. Taking a chance, I give her a wave and nod and greeting. I half expected she might not notice at all with her headphones already in, but she falters for a moment, and the slightest flicker of movement in her hand that I choose to interpret as a wave and a glance in my direction tells me she did. Before I can say good morning, though, Miss Clayus purposefully clears her throat, needing to do nothing more to signal the start of class. Once everyone has settled down, she begins a lecture on a body of mathematics I'm completely unfamiliar with. Wonderful. Let's try to be star student with that. Last lesson covered topics I already knew, but this time it's all fresh. Still, I think I can handle this. Yeah, you got this. Amazingly, I managed to stay awake throughout the entire lecture, and I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on the subject matter. As I start to work on the practice problems, I notice the girl next to me is once again listening to music, this time under her hood. Was she listening to music during the lecture? Thank you so much for hydrating. Maybe she doesn't even need to be in this class. She certainly seems to be writing plenty and with confidence. Aw, thank you. Thank you for the hug, Mika. How are you feeling? Are you okay? That said, she could just be doodling meaninglessly like last time. Her hand movements do have that distracted, erratic look about them. Hugs! Yay! I also have a hug break command. Well, command and a redeem. We will take like 5 minutes or so off and just hug. Damn. Yeah, the chat is delayed. About 2-3 minutes. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing it's the game again. But yeah, I'm actually a little proud of myself. I managed to get through all of the problems with very little difficulty. Maybe I could even get to like maths a little. Well, yeah, you could. Okay, that might be pushing it. Never mind. I give my answers one last look through along with everyone else as Miss Clay stands back up in front of the board to wrap up the class. I notice the girl next to me is still listening to music, now with her eyes closed. Does she know class is almost over? People are already packing their bags and getting ready to leave, and she doesn't seem to notice. Does she just leave her music really loud, or are her headphones those fancy noise cancelling ones? Maybe she's just really good at tuning out the world. Then I try to get her attention. Apparently, I'm the only one who's noticed her. She's a ghost. Plot twist. Hey, nothing. The class is almost over. No response. I suppose I should expect that at this point. I noticed Fran laughing and shaking her head across the room. Oh, Fran. Nice to know they have my back on this one, I know, right? I feel like I need to get her attention somehow. She's going to miss the homework assignment, and somehow I doubt she'd be able to ask anyone what it is. Uh, has to know. She doesn't like being touched, I'm certain. The world doesn't exist to her. I need some physical way of getting her attention, but actually touching her might be a bit much. Yep. Maybe a note. Man, passing notes in class like it's like I'm 14 again. What to write? Class is almost over. Would probably do the trick, but a perfectly enunciated voice swims into my mind, goading me for being so predictable. What would Kaja ask? I quickly scribble out a question. Hey, what are you listening to today? And slide it across her desk. Uh-oh, this does the trick. She looks up more dazed than surprised, as though someone has disturbed a pleasant dream. Then, realizing what has happened, her eyes shoot open and she comes perilously close to making eye contact with me. For a moment, I feel like I've made a mistake as she looks kind of shocked, but when I glance down at the note and she follows my line of sight, she actually looks pleased. In fact, that might have been the biggest smile I've seen on her yet. Not that that's saying much, but it's still something. She leans over and shows me the screen of her phone. Another artist, album, and song I've never heard of. Today's album art is a very blue scene with a snowy mountain behind a lake with a flock of swans. I don't recognize it. I'm hardly a music buff, but I feel as though I definitely wouldn't be alone in not having a clue about what it is. I also have no idea which of the few words on the cover is the artist and which is the album. My brain scrambles a little trying to think of a worthwhile response to this, but nothing is forthcoming. A lame fool is all that it can muster, which I don't bother saying. In any case, I managed to get her attention without annoying her. That's a start at least. She plucks out her headphones as if expecting me to say something. Pressure's on! I decide to avoid my lack of music knowledge completely. By the way, I never got your name. The girl ponders this question for a second before flipping over the note I passed her and scribbling something. She finishes and slides it back to me. Annalise Coyle. Wonderful, just the name and nothing else. Annalise, at least that's one mystery solved. I look back up at her, smiling. Again, she fails to look me in the eye, but she looks a little pleased with herself nonetheless. Before I get the chance to respond, though, a shadow falls over my desk. Miss Cleus peers ominously at the note lying on my desk and quietly asks me to see her after class. Ah, God, screw me for trying to communicate with my fellow students. I guess it's not like there's any other way of talking to this girl. My gaze follows Miss Cleus as she pads back to her desk. unfolding the note. As she looks down at the creased piece of paper in her hand, she hesitates for a moment, as if second-guessing herself, and she glances briefly back at Annalise and I. Without saying anything else, though, she clears her throat and goes about explaining today's homework assignment. For a moment, I wonder why I even bothered writing the thing. Annalise doesn't seem to care all that much about talking to me. She smiled, sure, but her note was hardly receptive, and now I'm probably going to get some sort of undeserved reprimand at the end of the class. When I shift my gaze to her, though, the guilty expression on her face melts any animosity I felt towards her, okay? She clearly feels bad about getting me in trouble. It's not like Miss Clace is going to find anything incriminating on the note either. A trivial question and a name. Nobody is going to get in trouble for that, although the teacher's strange hesitation is still playing on my mind a little. After another few seconds of looking a little uneasy, Annalise takes the chance to pass me another note while Miss Clace has her back turned. Sorry. When I raise my vision again, she has already put her headphones back in and apparently tuned out the world. Man, Annalise, way to play on the guilt trip. How did that one word make me feel like the bad guy? God damn. Erik, thank you so much for the like, Mika. I appreciate it. Are you gonna fall asleep? If so, then I guess I'll DM you the link later on Discord. You said you needed to see me. It's not about the note, is it? Of course it's about the note, Erik. Yes, don't think I hadn't forgotten about what you said this morning. I wasn't neglecting the class or anything. I know, I really paid attention this lesson. I think I did really well on the workbook questions, and I'm going to do that homework straight away this evening. I'm sure you did. That's not what you said this morning. Stop right there, Mr. Wilhelm. You aren't in trouble. I'm not? No, you're not. I just wanted to say, well, I don't mean to be nosy or anything, but I noticed how sensitive you've been with Miss Cole in this lesson and the last. I'm quite impressed. What's impressive about it? Well, how can I put this? Annalise hasn't had the easiest time at St. Symphonous. I'm sure she appreciates you interacting with her while giving her some space. It's a difficult balance to strike. But I probably shouldn't have said anything. It's Annalise's business and yours, not mine. Just keep it up, Erik. I'm sure you're going to fit in well here. Oh, and well done in today's lesson. I did notice you working hard on the practice questions. Thank you, Miss Claes. This makes me feel disproportionately proud. I'm glad she noticed. Thanks, I tried. I hope you continue to bear what we talked about this morning in mind. Off you go now. With an uncharacteristically warm smile, Miss Claes returns to a stack of papers on her desk and gets marking. I swing my bag over my shoulder and turn to exit. As I do, I notice someone slip out the door just before me. The last to leave looked like Annalise. Ooh. Had she been hanging back to listen to a conversation or something? The way she left, slinking silently from the room, leads me to believe she was trying to be covert. Then again, there's nothing I haven't seen her do silently. I wonder if I should try to catch up with her. Judging from what Miss Claes said she could do with a friend, would she appreciate that? Part of me thinks calling after her and trying again to make a conversation would be just an inconvenience to her. I jog a little to catch up with her headphones in. It looks like she didn't hear me coming, but as I come up alongside her, she notices me in her peripheral vision and looks in my direction. I was expecting a reaction to be one of a shock, but instead she seems relatively unfazed by my presence. She even raises her hand slightly in greeting and slips her headphones out of her ears. Hey, Annalise. She doesn't say anything. Fair enough. What have you got next? Oh, Pulls out her phone and taps a few times before showing me the screen with her timetable open. Ah, history, nice. She shrugs. Not your thing. She doesn't have much of a response to this. I kind of like it. Learning about how people lived in the past is fascinating. She pauses for a second and taps something out in her phone's notes, again showing me the screen when she's done. Professor Ask Askner is awful though. Oh, haha, okay, fair enough. He's not the most inspiring. And have you heard the crap he listens to while we're working? Oh, I know, 70s Swedish pop music. Why? I grin. Maybe you should subtly recommend him some headphones that don't leak so badly, huh? It's painful. She laughs, or rather forcefully exhales through her nose, and smiles faintly at the floor. This is decidedly the weirdest way I've ever interacted with someone. I think that's kind of vulnerable, in a sense. Is Annalise physically mute, or is she purely psychological? Or is it purely psychological? I think of asking her, and once again that sweet, thrilling tone of Gaja's floats through my head. Would it be tactful to ask something like that, or like that straight up? Well, it depends on the person, right? On the impression I have of them so far, and in this case, I let my gut do the thinking. So, Annalise, can you, I realize as soon as I open my mouth that this is a terrible question. But now I'm committed. How can I reword this without looking like an edit speak? No, apparently there is no way to reword it without sounding like a She doesn't seem to mind though, she nods. But you don't. She shakes her head, looks a little sheepish. Huh, okay, well how about this? Give me your number, then we don't have to keep communicating like this. It's kind of awkward. I'm not sure what drove me to be so forward, if I'm honest. I barely know this girl. Why am I trying so hard to communicate with her? I guess I'm done being a bystander. So far, basically everybody I've spoken to in this school has been because I was told to speak to someone by someone else, or because they spoke to me first. I need some license. This spurt of sudden confidence, it must be something to do with what Miss Clea said. Even though it's kind of weird, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I study Annalise's face. She still refuses eye contact with me, but I can see she's still thinking hard. Her features are far from inscrutable. When she isn't focused on making herself unnoticed, her face is surprisingly expressive. Apparently coming to a conclusion, she reaches out and I pass her my phone. A few tapes later, she hands it back. Phone number acquired. After a second's pause, I sent her a text. Thanks. She pulls out her phone and checks it, smiles and taps out a reply of her own. Good to finally be able to talk to you. Aw, that's so sweet. Has she been waiting for this or something? I look up at her before I can help myself. A laugh escapes my lips at the absurdity of our exchange. Still, if exchanging text messages while standing right next to one another is how Annalise is, then so be it. Feeling a little awkward, I decide to best reply via text myself as well. You too. Another silent laugh. She must appreciate me replying in her medium. As we raise her fork in the corridor, Annalise and I need to part ways. Our next classes are different. I pause for a second, wondering what to say. See you, Annalise. She gives me a small wave and heads off. A few seconds later, my phone buzzes, a text from Annalise. Bye. And then a second, just call me Anna, by the way. Annalise is way too long and too old-fashioned. Anna it is, then. I wonder if she'll ever be able to speak to me. As Anna runs around a corner out of sight, my mind begins to drift elsewhere. I feel a presence behind me. A foreboding tense and somehow non-gender specific presence. Fran! It's Fran, I can feel it. Acting on impulse, I whip around and point dramatically at the figure behind me. Fran! It isn't Fran. Oh shit. It's the boy standing oh, there is a boy student in this. Where is NG? Where is NG? Small boy standing behind me, at least a foot shorter than I am, looks terrified. Before I have to take any action myself, though, a hand is placed gently on the boy's shoulder. Oh, there you are. Sorry about Erik, chap. He's just been through quite an ordeal. Run along now. Not needing any further promoting, the boy departs. Delighted to get away from me and melt into the crowd. Grinning ear to ear, Fran turns to me and chuckles. Oh, Erik, oh my sweet precious child, you are persistent, aren't you? I guess what they're talking about. I can guess what they're talking about, but I'm not going to give them the benefit. What are you talking about? Come on, Wilhelm, it's so obvious. Were you listening in on my conversation? Fran chuckles again. I realize why almost immediately. Haha, what conversation? There was nothing to listen to. Bless you both, though. It was very sweet. I love Fran. You're really working hard on winning her over, aren't you? Most people give up in a few minutes, let alone a few days. Personally, I can never tell if that's what she wants or not. Plumbing the hidden depths of a selective mute doesn't appeal. I can see where they're coming from. Communicating with Annalise wasn't exactly easy. No? How come? I just don't have the time for it, sweetie. All strength to her. She's happy to keep doing what she's doing. But talking to her is more of a challenge than I want to take on. Still, it should be much easier for you now, right? I feel apprehensive about this. What does Fran know? What are you talking about, Fran? Come on, Erik. I saw you give her your phone. Getting numbers already? And you've been here less than a week, you sly dog. Oh, that. I didn't even think about getting Annalie's phone number as well. Getting a girl's number. It was just the simplest way of talking to her. Still, if that's what Fran wants to believe. You have to admit, I've got game. They laugh uproariously. This time, their laugh is much more than a wry chuckle, causing everyone in the hall to turn and look. After a few more seconds, they wipe a few tears from their eyes theatrically and look back at me. Oh, honey, you weren't being serious, were you? I wasn't being serious, but who's to say I couldn't have been being serious? What are you implying? Definitely nothing at all. I don't know what you're talking about. You definitely have hair. The words pour from their mouth, their grin belying their sincerity. Anyway, Erik, good for you. Well done. Well done? Their voice is still coy. Fran's expression softens a little, and this time they do sound sincere. Your preservance, it's heartwarming, chap. Chap? Who's chap? Before I can ask them why they decided to say this, Franz turned around and calls over their shoulder as they trot away, giggling mischievously. See you in class, Wilhelm. See you, Fran. I share my next class with them as well. There. For now, though, I'm left on my own once again. Is the fact that I tried to talk to Annalise really such a big deal? First Miss Claes and now Fran. Who else is going to interrogate me about this? Probably Ella and Katja. All this questioning makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. It's certainly not helping that constant nagging feeling of forever being an outsider. I'm not an outsider. But then why would I let that stop me? I doubt that feeling is going to go away on its own anytime soon, and like Miss Clay said, Annalise must appreciate it. Something good is coming from it, at least. I wonder if she feels as much of an outsider as I do. I think so. My head now swimming with even more indistinct thoughts and doubts. I head to my next class, still somehow buoyed by Miss Claes and Fran's encouragement. It might be a bit weird, but it feels like I'm doing the right thing. There's a certain Je sais quoi about the way the school bell punctuates at the French end of class, huh? I'm glad to be liberated from the drooning of the instructor, for one, but I'm also a bit apprehensive about lunch. I've yet to find a rhythm with it, and while I don't mind variety, I prefer it to be my choice. I can't say I feel much control over how my lunches go yet. Each one is still a crap shot between eating alone and being roped into some conversation with people I hardly know. All just another step to finding my place here, I suppose. With a heavy sigh, I set off, lumbering toward the cafeteria. My protesting leg delayed me so long that everyone else has already disappeared down some hall or another. It doesn't bother me, since it's not like I'd be taking most of them away, most of them anyway. Talking to most of them anyway, okay. Maybe I'll run into one of the few familiar faces at lunch, though. I'll make an effort to find someone. Don't want to get in the habit of eating on my own or waiting for someone to feel sorry for. Yeah. One good thing about being slow is that by the time I arrive, the worst of the lunch rush is gone. People are either seated or taking their food elsewhere, and I can step through the line nice and quick. After a short wait, I get a hearty potion from a pleasant, portly serving lady, and I thank her and turn around to survey the tables. Right, who do I know? None of the students seated on the near side seem familiar. I can't spot Ella's bushy hair, nor Fran's perpetual smirk, nor Natalia's blonde bob. Maybe they're obscured somewhere in the crowd, but somehow I doubt it. They're all quite distinctive in appearance. I weave around chairs and edge to the opposite side of the cafeteria, craning my neck and continuing my survey. There has to be at least one person I know here. For a moment, I'm hit with a self-conscious tinge of anxiety. I must look pitiful, staring in every direction on my own. I have to shake my head to dismiss the thought. I'm just looking for a friend, right? That's not so strange. Everybody does that. Resuming my search, my eyes reach the far corner of the cafeteria. Last chance. Aha. A thick head of strawberry blonde tells me all I need to know. Dodger's there, sitting with a few of her friends. Conveniently, there's a free spot from across from her. I hesitate at the sight of the others. If Kaja's busy talking to them, maybe it's best to leave her alone. I'd hate to force myself into a situation where I'm not welcome. I understand. Still, I decided I wouldn't be eating alone, and it looks like Kaja's my only chance at that. I'll have to trust that she'll turn me away gently if it's a problem. I step past the last of the furniture between me and the corner table and stop at the near end. Noticing me, Kaja breaks off from her conversation and gives the tray in my hands a glass. Hello, Erik. Hi, Kaja. My intuitions tell me you're looking for a seat. Well, actually, I was planning on standing here indefinitely. It's performance art. I see. Far be it from me to intervene with your brilliance, but would you care to join us? She motions to the open spot across from her. I suppose I could if you insist. Wait, that's Erik. Never mind. Then I insist. I shrug in mock indifference, setting my food down and taking the seat. Thanks. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. Not at all. We were discussing the choir's plans for the gala. It can wait. However, introductions are in order. Everyone, this is Erik Wilhelm, a recent transfer student in Miss Claes's class. She begins to motion at each of the others in turn. This, Erik, this is Gretchen, Henrietta, and Teresa. They're fellow members of the choir. I nod and blink, making a concerted effort to engrave the names and faces into my head. I will probably fail. They all smile at me, and we commence the usual pleasantries for a few minutes. By the time we're done, however, I can confirm that I've completely forgotten their names. So have I. I know there's a Teresa, but that's about it. I temporarily numbered them 1, 2, and 3. Oh god, okay. Hopefully I'll be reminded of their names before it's obvious I've forgotten. But Kadra motions to them before I can say anything, and they resume the conversation on their own. It seems she anticipated my discomfort, of course. I give her a prayer of thanks for sparing me from the inevitable awkwardness. Now she looks back at me with interest, chin resting on her hands. It's a look of respectful attention, the same one she seems to maintain every time we speak. There's something genuine about it, but also something detached, as though she wants to keep a little distance. Wouldn't that be expected, though? I know it's only been a day, but I have to ask, how have you been? Ironically, a lot happened over the past day. The question risks sending me down a rabbit hole of recollection. It feels impolite to vent to someone who might be a new friend, but she did ask. I swallow the food I've been munching on and answer. I've been getting by, you know. It's still a bit overwhelming orienting myself here. Of course, these things are always difficult to begin with. I only hope you know that there are many here willing to help if you're ever feeling lonely in the midst of it all. Right. That's actually why I came here, sort of, to this table specifically. Oh? I decided to look for someone I knew at lunch. It took a while, but I managed to spot you here in the corner. So in a way, I guess this is me taking your advice before it was given and trying not to be alone. Lonely, not alone. The distinction is important. You may want to be alone, but it's terrible to feel lonely. Regardless, I'm very happy to hear that, and I'm glad I managed to be of assistance. When you put it that way, it sounds so sterile. My apologies. It's an occupational hazard. Occupational hazard? Of what occupation? Being me. She says this with a giggle, and I realize that getting her to laugh is satisfying. It feels like a sign that I'm doing something right in my interactions with the people here. You were about to tell me how your past day went, though. Oh, well, it was eventful. Eventful? A good or bad kind of eventful? A bit of both, I think. There were many events. She raises an eyebrow, and I feel her bore into me, not with any malice, but with a healthy dose of sarcasm. Would you like to discuss any of these events, or shall I continue to prompt you and advance this conversation in sentence-length episodes? I had my first appointment with Dr. Weber for one. I see, that's plenty already. I had my own expectations, and to be honest, he defied them. I was pleasantly surprised. I came in cynical about the whole thing, but I left genuinely feeling a little better and hopeful. I didn't think it would affect me so quickly. The idea of therapy seemed dark and mysterious to me, and I'm starting to realize that may have been wrong. It may have, but you wouldn't be the first to make that mistake. I was apprehensive about my first session, if I'm honest. Really? I'm glad you had a good first experience with Dr. Weber. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the next time. That's a kind of progress in itself. Maybe, I guess. I think so. However, that was the first of multiple events. Shall I ask about the next? I still feel guilty unloading my worries on Kadra, but she seems happy to talk about them, and I'm also feeling better about having started this conversation. Kadra has a good sense for what to say. I guess I don't have any reason to stop now. You remember how when we first met, you asked me about my sandwich? Yes. You called it protocol? I've been trying to do something similar since then, and I'm discovering it's hard to nail down. On my way back from the appointment, I ran into someone and I'm not sure I handled it the best. I thought I was doing alright. I tried to be friendly, but I ended up tripping over myself and making things awkward. With how different everyone is, I don't know how to improvise. The one size fits all approach you used on me when I mess it up. I wouldn't rush to make that comparison. It's only your fourth day after all. Right, but when will I get better at this? Kadra pauses and gives me a look. Brow furrowed. You said you tried to be friendly. I did, not pushy but still friendly. I thought I'd try to make conversation. I see. She lets out a sympathetic sigh. Unfortunately, Erik, not being pushy isn't always enough. To be to really be safe, sometimes you need to set aside being friendly at all. You can be cordial and pleasant without being friendly. And given that some people are less than comfortable with friendliness, that's what I'd suggest. You can try to be a bit more forward if you're sure the person would welcome it, but otherwise it's best to keep a little distance. She is so wise. I only apply my sandwich test in situations where both parties have an escape. If you had clammed up on the bench that day, it would have been easy for me to relieve you of my wonderful company. I am reminded of my first two encounters with Anna and the disasters that they were. In retrospect, I realized that I was pushing too hard, but I didn't think that meant I should avoid being friendly altogether. Given yesterday's events, though, maybe Kaja's right, I have to be more careful. I can't assume everybody wants to have a conversation, and I can't force it on them. For that matter, the same advice goes for people you're already friends with. Sometimes our friends just need a little solitude, and in those moments, it's important to respect that. Yeah, I get it, but how do I know if someone's receptive then? That, Alice, is a matter of practice. You'll pick it up. I sigh. Alright. The discussion leads me to the morning I just had. I'm reminded of my first real conversation with Anna. I'm on a roll and I decide to keep talking, even if I'm just dumping everything that's been on my mind. I also had a bit of breaking through just earlier today. Oh? Yeah, I took a calculated risk, I guess, and it paid off. I'd been trying to talk to this one classmate of mine for the past few days, and I finally figured out a way to do it that works for both of us. Kadra appraises me, the corners of her lips twitching with what might be a knowing smile. I wouldn't be surprised if she knew exactly who I was talking about, whether through the school's healthy rumor mill or by just reading between the lines. Who knows, maybe I'll learn from the mistake I made yesterday. So it would seem. She says that with a smile, assuring me that she isn't being sarcastic. Do tell me more. Well, I think it came down to putting myself in the other person's shoes and thinking about what might make them most comfortable. Indeed, there's asking about sandwiches and there's guessing the right sandwich. A considerably more complicated skill, but one you seem to be acquiring quite well. I think I just might be, yeah. I remember the anxiety I felt when I thought Miss Cleus was about to scold me. I actually thought I'd screwed up for a minute, but it went better than I expected. I kind of even got praised by the teacher for it. I smile and Kaldra grins at how obviously pleased with myself I am. Wonderful. Nothing that I could say now would top that. I'm glad you were able to figure out something that worked. It took some creativity, but yeah, maybe this adjustment period will be over sooner than I thought. Hi, CJ, welcome in. How are you doing? I'm gonna push the ad back a bit more since you just came in. There's gonna be a 3-minute ad break. Okay. We have 10 minutes before the ad starts again. Also, there's delay going on with the chat, like 2-3 minutes maybe. From awkward transfer to vertical socialite in mere weeks, I'm sure. Doing good, and you? I'm kind of tired, but good, yeah. I am going out with a friend tomorrow, like early afternoon. So I have to wake up early. But I also want to finish this game today, or at least get close to the ending. So I'm gonna be live quite a while, and I'm gonna speed run the game. You could, but just wait, you'll see. She laughs with her eyebrows raised, challenging my confidence, and I retaliate with a shrug. So since you last came here, we've made some friends, or technically gotten closer to some people, to a point where they could end up being friends. And we joined an astronomy club. So we're in two clubs, astronomy and this what newspaper club. And we have a tutor, Jazo, Janine, Jenny. Janie. Could it be Jen? Jamie. Never mind. Jazo. Now I notice I've gone through most of my meal talking about myself. I should probably fix that before the entire lunch break is gone. I glance at number 1, 2, and 3, who seem to be engaged in standard classmate small talk. I think back to the conversation I interrupted when I first arrived. Anyway, you said you had planning to do for the gala. Kadra blinks at the sudden gear shift, but catches on quickly enough at his work. This doesn't have to be a transactional conversation, you know? Jeans, right, Jeans. Yup, her. She's our tutor. And there's a girl who's always, like, she doesn't talk much and nobody is really her friend. We made friends with her and a teacher praised us for that, and I think that girl is autistic. So, yeah. It's not transactional. I'm really curious, and besides, what kind of gentleman would I be if I spent the whole lunch talking about myself? The usual gentleman, suffice to say. But yes, the choir has a performance planned for the gala, and we'll be spending much more time in rehearsals the next week. I expect to be very busy until the gala. When are you performing? Sunday? Friday as well, but the Sunday performance is the main event, as it were. It's one of the most ambitious events we have every year, and the coordination it takes is substantial. But it's something we've always been proud of. Most of the school turns up to watch, and given the withdrawn tendencies of some of them have, that's saying something. She pauses and looks off to one side, unusually pensive. I wait for her to work through her thought, and after a moment she looks back at me. I like to think that it gives everyone a bit of hope for the year. The concept can be so foreign to many of us, and I want to make it familiar. That's very nice. Preparing for the gala puts us under intense pressure, but I feel it's worth it, and I want it to lift everyone's spirit. If we manage to do that, then I can take the heat off the preceding weeks. There's gonna be an ad break soon. When it occurs, I'm gonna kind of take a small break, and yeah, an ad break in about 4 minutes. If Mika is still here, I'm gonna share a story. Oh, by the way, CJ, I kind of ended up writing a whole story revolving around the emotes that I have. So I was gonna share the link to that in the ad break. If we manage to do that, then I can take the heat of the preceding weeks. A little hope can be enough to save someone. For a second, I just look at her, not sure how to respond. She's looking at me expectantly though, so I try to come up with something. I've obviously never been to one of these, but I can see how important it would be, yeah. And you're right, a little hope can go a long way when someone is at their lowest. If you put that much effort into it, I think there's a good chance it's having the intended effect. I know I'm looking forward to seeing it. Nadja lights up at that last sentence. Oh, excellent. I'm eager to know what you think of it when the time comes. If it's anything like what I saw you do yesterday, I'm sure it will be great. Thank you. I do want to thank you again for coming to watch, and actually, I wanted to invite you to see my practices whenever you'd like. People stop by very occasionally, but never because I'm there. I simply happen to be there at the same time they are. Send the link in Discord? Okay. Oh yeah, because sometimes you can't copy from here, okay. Performing with an attentive audience of even just one makes a big difference. It's especially helpful when the audience can give their thoughts unsullied by musical formalism. More chances to see Kadra sing. Her invitation is the choir equivalent of a season pass to the movies. I don't know how much time I'll have in the coming weeks, but setting aside half an hour now, and again to sit in on Kadra's practices, is not too shabby an idea for leisure. Yeah, that would be great. I could use something to unwind. Just let me know when and I'll make some time to drop by. Kadra gives me a wide smile. Thank you, Erik. I'll keep you informed. In the meantime, we might want to finish up here. Our break is nearing its close. I check my phone. She's right. We've used up all but 10 minutes of our lunch. I'd say it was time well spent. I stack my empty plates on the tray and stand up with the elegance of an arthritic man, but that can't be helped. Katja collects her own things and waves goodbye to her friends before giving me one last smile. It's been a pleasant conversation. I look forward to seeing you around at practice. Sure, count on it. I'll see you later. And with that, we make our way back to our classes. Unsurprised. Okay, I'm gonna save it too. Now. Because the ad break is coming in like 30 seconds or so, so I'm gonna save it there and take a little break and send the link in Discord. Alright, I'm back. Sorry it took long. Now words from our collective tale and hopeless cozy stream. Cozy? Okay. We greet with a hello. Easy checks in, how are you? Standard flow. Jeans, they say a fashion choice or misstep. Anyways, unsurprisingly, we head to the class, and unsurprisingly, the optimism Erik felt for becoming a focused, motivated student last class has faded, replaced entirely by reruns of my conversation from earlier. Interesting. But I thought that was a nice conversation, no? On the bright side, humanities are subjective. It's really more about presentation than content. And I figure with a little help from my uh, thesaurus, I forgot how to pronounce it, I should have a passable imitation of actual competence. Never mind. Shut up. Heading in the direction of my classroom building, I turn my phone over in my pocket and think about the girl who sits next to me. My awkward little interaction with Anna earlier today hadn't seemed too remarkable at the time. She's quiet. Maybe she doesn't like the sound of her own voice. Her texts are perfectly normal, and reading them, you wouldn't think there was anything strange about her. But hearing Miss Clayus and Tran talk, you'd think somehow I managed to land a cargo plane blindfolded. Kadja seemed to think I was on the right track at least, and by all appearances, Kadja is a St. D's leading expert on the conversation and social etiquette. I'm left wondering if Anna really is as shy as everyone says, or if they've all jumped to the same conclusion I've arrived at. What if Anna's introversion is just a self-fulfilling prophecy? Is it really just as simple as passing a single note? By the way, CJ, do you still read the stream summaries? I kind of stopped them, but should I like keep posting or what? I almost jumped at the sound of the bell, signaling the 5-minute warning for me to get to class. Heading into the building, I joined the flow of students while my mind half on the events of the day. All the same, I can't help but scan the crowded corridor for Anna's trademark headphones to no avail. I could always text, but suddenly texting anyone before class seems pushy, desperate even. All the same, passing notes in class is hardly an ideal solution either, and from what I can tell, Anna doesn't eat lunch in the cafeteria. Definitely overthinking this now. Overthinking what? It's a crowded hall, Erik. Listen up. Sorry, it's just hard to notice you down here. Whoa, you're going to height shame me? That's low, man, literally. I'm not. It's fine. You can make it up to me. What are you looking for? Huh? I didn't get many sentences out when Irene is around, do I? Don't play dumb. You look like you've lost a kid at the mall but don't want to yell in public. You're like an NPC with a side quest again. I just can't ignore that, you know? It would drive me crazy. I'm not an NPC. You kind of are to her. Whatever helps you sleep, man. I like her. As much as I want to complain, Irene might be exactly the person I need right now. Something about this seems wrong, but if it's information I'm after, I can hardly think of someone more likely to know about Anna. Alright, fine. I'm looking for Annalise. Do you know her? Headphones and a hoodie. Irene's posture shifts, her expression falling into something almost disinterested. Annalise Coyle? Yeah, I know her. Why? What's up? Well, nothing's up. I just want to get to know her better. Do you know about her? I managed to break the ice a little during math, but I don't want to step on any landmines. Landmines talking to her. All I really know is that she likes music, but I thought maybe you'd know more, or... Even as I trail off, Irene's features harden. I don't even know Irene's features could harden. But before I know it, her eyes are locked onto mine, scrutinizing me for whatever unknowable tells. The sound of the crowd seems to fade away. So Erik, full disclosure, I think you're a cool guy, at least I'm pretty sure you are, and I like to think I'm a pretty good judge of character, but I'm not perfect, not by a long shot, so if I find that you're being an asshole, and I always find out, then I'm going to make sure everyone in school hears about it, not just the students, everyone. And just like that, the intensity vanishes and the sound returns to the hallway. Just a disclosure, you know? So you still want to know about Anna? You know what? I think I'm fine, actually. Annalise Coyle, age 18. What? No, goddammit. I didn't say I said I didn't want any help. Obviously, Erik, because if you did, I wouldn't have told you. It's how secret tests of character work. Besides, didn't I just say, I think you're a cool guy. Annalise could use more people like you in her life, you know? People willing to put in the effort to get to know her. She eats her lunch at the corner of the cafeteria, by the way, but you should text her and ask so you don't look like a creeper and buy a headphone splitter. Oh, wow, okay. And with that, the last of the crowd disappearing towards their classrooms, Irene adjusts her book bag strap, turning to join her next period, leaving me alone and slightly terrified. Sighing, I turn and enter my own classroom. A bird is perched on the windowsill, pecking at the dust on the concrete, hopping aimlessly to and fro. Probably noticing me staring at it, it glances back and chirps a note in greeting. It's a bright, beautiful Thursday afternoon. The sky is nothing but a tranquil dome of blue unmarred by clouds save for the faintest, silkiest wisps and its highest canopies. A warm breeze swirls underneath the trees' golden coats of foliage. The proud oaks and mahoganies that line the school grounds, cobblestone paths, shake their tender boughs to the wind's gentle tempo. The bird soon realizes the futility of its search and promptly spreads its wings, taking to the air, but not so much as a parting glance. Tree unfeathered, how enviable. Meanwhile, I'm here sitting in a suffocating hot classroom while waxing fogs philosophical as sweat runs in the river down my face while having my hair snipped for some reason. I'd really rather not know. Strawberry shampoo? How delicate. Stop sniffing my hair. And that's a gift from my grandmother, okay? It'd be rude if I didn't use it, even on occasion. On occasion, darling, your hair has smelled like strawberries since your first day here. Maybe you should try grapefruit or watermelon. Honestly, it's getting boring. Well, maybe you could like stop sniffing. But where's the fun in that? Come on, do you have a disorder related to chronic grumpiness? A fox-like smile forms on my lips. Well, I can't really blame you for being bummed, though I'm a bit disappointed you gave up that fast. Huh? What are you talking about? Yeah, Annalise, who else? Quiet, make quiet face. That, the woman, the legend, and damn it, you were so close too, about this close. Without the slightest warning, their face swoops down on me, and their nose grazing mine a second before I recoil up out of instinct. I flinch in pain as my head hits the window pane. Ow, what the hell? What's that for? Don't do that, damn it. That's harassment. They chuckle and rustle my hair before retreating into their own chair. At least your reflexes aren't shabby, much to my dismay. Their coy smile unwavering, they wink at me, a cold current shoots up my spine. You shouldn't let it weigh you down though, okay? Annalise isn't exactly the chatty type, as I said. It's just her thing, I guess. Like how being gorgeous is my thing, and how using girly shampoos is yours. They're not in a position to judge, is what I'm saying. I groan as my palm meets my face, at lightning speed. I did, the side stuff as in, not really. The side notion exists itself, and like I just kind of use it. It's like Word technically, but a website, and you can organize it, and it's easier to use. And it autosaves. Now that I think about it, it's actually better to write in that. Huh. Thank you, by the way. I groan as my palm meets my face at lightning speed. That said, we should get out of this hole. I'm going out for a walk. Care to go? The small rivers of sweat on my face rounds out any objection I had. Without much argument, I mumble my agreement and slowly rise from my chair, holding on to Fran to make sure I don't stumble. There's worse company for a stroll than Fran, I guess. Besides, some fresh air would be good. I'd rather avoid getting roasted alive in this blast furnace of a room. Not gonna lie, she reminds me of Fran from Franbo because of her hair, kind of. And also the name, of course. Man, what score did you get on that French quiz? 7 out of 7. Sorry, 7 out of 10. Could be worse. Impressive. When did you figure we're going to learn French swear words? I've always wanted to curse in French. Oh, why would you want to learn those? My god, are you shooting yourself? Why wouldn't I want to? It's like slapping someone with a turd pie, except the pie was made by a five-star chef. Thinking better than to continue this obviously pointless conversation, I simply roll my eyes and shift my gaze to the road ahead. Fran garbles on throughout the duration of the walk, leaping from topic to unrelated topic every other second, only pausing on occasion to bark out a laugh at their own latest witticism. I sigh in resignation. There's worse company, I repeat to myself. Suddenly, Fran tugs at the helm of my sleeve. I stop in my tracks and turn to them, only to find them with a finger on their lips, and on the other hand cupped behind an ear. And their other hand cupped behind an ear. Interesting. I'm learning one thing or two of programming, so I'm kind of relatable. I actually want to learn coding and programming and stuff, so maybe if I actually learn, I could share some tips. You hear that? I look around me, sure enough. Over the rustling sounds of leaves, I pick up a small group of voices a short distance away. They're faint, but I can clearly discern the anger in their tone. Before any protest can be made, Fran holds me by the arm off the walkway and toward the direction of those voices. I gulp. There is absolutely no way in hell this is going to be good. We duck behind a bush as we catch a glimpse of a group of girls forming a circle around someone behind the grove. Sorry, you think we're gonna let you off with just that, huh, princess? Freakishly tall and sporting, a build fit for a rugby player, not even taking into account the frightening booming voice, the girl who just completely blocked our view of their latest victim. Bullies? In a school like this? Eva and her lackeys are at it again? Eva? Okay, Eva, not Ella, okay. Shouldn't we get help? Fran just shrugs. Their face still has the signature air of nonchalance, but I can see streams of sweat crawling down their cheeks already. I think it will be in our best interest to start off immediately now. I don't know about you, but my curiosity is satisfied. I'd rather she doesn't mark me as the one who ratted her out, bad for business and all. Besides, we don't even know that poor sap. We have to. Natalia? True, every tip counts. Yeah. Let's please get along, yes? That's Natalia, isn't it? There's no mistaking that small voice and that thick accent. Even Fran slaps their face in dismay as recognition dawns on them. Oh, fuck me and my big mouth. Eva, I did not mean to ruin your tone. Oh, really? You hear that, girl? She didn't mean it. Well, that changes fuck all now, doesn't it? What the hell? I am so glad you did not redeem the no cursing. 600 euros tomorrow morning. Get it? But I can't give away that lot of money to a stranger. I'll have to ask my father first. The girl named Ella cuts her off by stomping on the ground. Someone lets a squeak out. Let's assume it was Natalia and totally not me. 600 euro in totally not you. 600 euro in cash tomorrow morning, or the next little chat we'll be having here wouldn't be ending just like that. Oh, you can already use it? That's so... What? I thought it would take a while to get validated. Hi, Angie, welcome in. How are you doing? How's your day been? There's again chat delay going on. 2-3 minutes. I don't know why. I don't have my browser open this time, but yeah. Oh, and uh, I totally forgot about the redeem yesterday, but I wrote something on it today. I'll share that real quick. I think I missed something here. I definitely didn't sign up for this, but even so, I can't just sit here watching Natalia being harassed. Like, oh yes, read it, please, Miss Poet. I'm not that good of a poet, trust me, but yeah. Um, Sweet on the inside, sour on the outside, protecting the sweetness stands a hard shell. Will you be patient and melt the candy's shell, sorry, or will you break it just to taste the sweetness and leave the candy in pieces? Or you can replace the last sentence with spit out the pieces. Let me be the judge on that matter. Wonderful. How could I let this one pass? Oh, Gloria Steinem, a feminist icon. Oh, it's okay. A lot of us don't know lots of things. Anyways, judge, um, do your judgment and I will proceed with the game. But even so, I can't just sit here watching Natalia being harassed like that. I love it, hoping money votes, but money? Okay. I turned to Fran, who's already frozen to their spot. Oh, by the way, CJ, we have emotes. Follower emotes as well. There's only one subscriber emote, unfortunately, so far, but yeah. Money, channel points, same. Oh, okay. I am thinking of changing the channel points, icon and maybe name. I'm not sure what to settle with yet. I guess we can change it later on as well, so should be fine, whatever I pick. I turn to Fran, who's already frozen to their spot, their face paler than I'd ever seen before. Let's just say they won't exactly do well as a font of reasonable advice right now. Yeah. Angie's not on Discord. Wow, the screen looks so cute. What? What do you mean? There's literally Discord link in the about section, and there's the command. Literally. But please join the Discord server. It's not that eventful, but it is very eventful whenever there's events going on. I used to do stream summaries there. Oh, by the way, CJ, do you still read stream summaries? I know I kind of stopped because I got kind of lazy and I thought nobody read them. Should I continue? I know there's a Discord link, but I didn't want. What? There's no. You are very much welcome there. I was. I felt awkward asking because the links are there and you're very interactive. So I guess if you don't join, you don't want to be over there or something like that. That was my process. Okay, we're gonna speedrun this game. No, the truth is I kind of forgot about this. Wow. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Oh, the delay is delay is gone. Wow. Caesar, do you like the emotes? Forgot because you didn't remind me about. I mean, I didn't. I never mind. Well, you're invited now. You click put the boy wants somebody else. Okay, okay, game. I turned to Fran, who's already frozen to there. Okay, I read that. I need to intervene. Sorry, we need to do something quick. Natalia is being bullied. They may be tough looking and all, but if I don't do at least, but if I don't at least try to do something now, then it might be too late. Yep, we have morals. We're not gonna run away like a coward. Honestly, shame on you, Vika. You should have reminded Upi to remind. Oh, by the way, I sent Mika the screenshots of yesterday, and he was like, "Oh, that's so sweet." Should I send this one to him as well? My feet spring to action. That's cute, thanks. Yeah, I'm very good at Mika's voice, at impersonating Mika's voice. Really? I wasn't even. I didn't. I didn't try. My feet spring to action. Oh, your feet. Okay. Faster than my mind resolves my tangled mess of thoughts, and I run toward them, or at least, if you consider limping forward just a bit faster to be a kind of running. I was joking anyway. Yeah. CJ, are you there? Guess who's back? And guess who's back? Welcome in the server, by the way, Angie. Oops, you're back? You were gone. Oh my god. So I'm guessing you didn't hear what I asked. Hey, Erik. Natalia's eyes sparkled from relief as she scrolls my name. The youth girls turned to me, greeting me with glares so sharp I almost instinctively turned back and run. Turned back and, okay, ran for my life, okay. The boys are back in town, woohoo. Okay, so CJ, I was asking, I know I kind of, quit updating the stream summaries. That was mainly because I got lazy and I thought nobody read them, but did you used to read them? Should I resume? Oh, hi there. What's going on? Oh, you're Ella? Alright. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, that's just lovely. The little princess already gone and gotten herself a knight. Wonderful. Romantic. You're being a tad bit rude, miss. Tell me, Sir Limpy, what is it? What's it any of your fucking business, huh? Eva takes a step forward in my direction. I struggle to keep my wits in check. Well, don't stutter. Fake it till you make it in this situation. I rummaged through my mind for something, anything that might deter them even for a bit. As it is, my high-pitched stammering isn't doing wonders for me. You can't threaten Natalia like that. I'll call a teacher. Eva's smile widens derisively. You'll tell whom? I'm going to call the... Okay, now NG is welcomed. Ooh. Yeah, NG is welcomed. Wonderful. I don't even get to finish my sentences as Eva grabs me by the collar and launches me backward like a rag doll. The baby bursts into laughter. My face burns so hard it somehow feels colder than hot. I'm a guy, damn it. I'm not even a big guy. I climbed mountains with Gustav. I never got picked on before. I wasn't exactly the type to get in fights, but nobody tried to hit me either. Certainly not a girl. Definitely not an ogress. I try to scrap back to my feet. This whole situation is insane. What am I supposed to do? Cry for help? Kick her? Yeah, kick her, yeah. In this situation, yeah. Who is Eva and why she... I don't know. She kind of just got in the plot. Eva, Fran and I, Erik. It's hard to talk about me in the game. So Fran and Erik, we were walking, strolling the school, and we came about some angry noises, and we kind of sneaked through and heard Eva being a bully to somebody, and Fran wanted to go back, but then we heard the victim, Natalia, and we were like, no, we have to do something. That was a choice between doing something and getting someone. So I chose doing something, and we went in limping, running. And this is Ava who was bullying her. Apparently, Natalia ruined her phone or something, and Ava is asking her for 600 euros, which Natalia cannot really give because her parent, stuff like that. So yeah, we're here. Gotcha! Hi! Yes, I like gotcha. Good morning, everyone. Is something the matter? Eva's gaze turns to someone behind me, and her smile twitches in shock for a moment. I glance at our savior and catch a wisp of extremely familiar strawberry blonde hair. She smiles at me, offering a hand to help me to my feet. I can almost feel my panic evaporate at the sight of her. Where's the dog? I have no idea. Ella, on the other hand, doesn't look as relieved. Ganja, what do you want? Please pardon my intrusion. I was just passing by. It's a marvelous day, isn't it? That gentle breeze blowing through the trees outside, the smell of the violets blooming. It's something to be appreciated in perfect natural silence, and I must say your rowdiness here is interfering with that. It pains me to see that you haven't learned yet from last time, Evie. I'd like to believe that it will behoves a student of this institution picking on the helpless. Eva takes a step back, eyes still fixed on Katja. Looking at them now, she's still probably the taller one. Oh, why don't you just fuck off? I hate to be that guy, but Katya? Katya? Really? But people here are from all over the place. Oh, that's a bummer. I liked Kaja. At least nothing that I can see. I wish they did like do the thing with ballads at midnight, like where they'd randomly speak. I'd at least maybe know how it's pronounced. So let's pretend I haven't said that. Wonderful. Kaja it is. Oh god. Coding programs, ooh. Let me know any cool things you do. Have a wonderful shower and time coding. Bye, take care. See you next time. Friends of bye CJ. Oh. She just glares at her, stands there with her arms folded over chest, looking at her with that one perfect brown eye. That language is beneath you, Eva. I suggest you do not shame yourself by continuing that sentence. She takes a tiny graceful step forward, and Eva, almost like a dancing partner, steps back in. Perfect tandem. At last, after all these years, I have opportunity to throw my nerdy jokes. You're welcome with anything here. Except for, of course, what's in the rules. Graceful stash. Okay, I read that. The big girl simply glares in silence as I try to gauge her reaction. Her face contours into various strange, grotesque forms, and as she takes in Kaja's presence, appreciation, attention, maybe even fear. I would have liked to believe you're smart enough to learn the last time I found you like this. Smart enough, perhaps, to have learned that scaring off a pair of new students would not be worth what would come for you in return. Eva, whose face has already gone through the spectrum from pink to red and back to white, opens her mouth to reply, but the voice that comes has absolutely zero of its previous confidence. Shut up, I don't give a... One of Kaja's porcelain fingers taps once against her arms. I wouldn't even see it if I wasn't standing right beside her, but Eva looks like she just punched her in the stomach. I was not finished. You will wait, and you will not disturb me until I am finished. Oh, angry Kaja. There's not much I learned. When you do, I mean. Not... And she was waiting to... Yeah. Candy. There's no sweat. Oh, okay. Cool. So there's a set of to not do list on the stream. Basically just be nice and not be rude or... Yeah, I don't think I have to say that. You're very nice. So she takes another step forward. Oh, I can be nice. What do you mean? Oh, CJ's heart was touched. As I was saying, Eva, consider your illustrious history. I would, in your place, think very carefully about how I wish to proceed. Wow. I would also, while on the subject of manners, suggest you reconsider your language, not just when speaking to me, but when speaking to other people. Your language reflects on you. Now, Evie, was there something you wanted to say? Eva stands speechless against the very same wall she held up Natalia to until a moment ago. Kaja looks... I know, right? She's very cool. I love her. Kaja waits patiently, her expression not changing one bit. Once an unbearably long minutes pass without Eva saying anything, Katja smiles again. Magnificent, isn't it? How far calmer everything becomes. Could I trust you to try harder next time? Yes, good. That's all I think. That can be asked of you. I thought you were talking to me, sorry. Do you know the story behind it? No, not yet. We don't. Eva stands, stiffens. Her fist, I quickly notice, begins shaking at her sides. She clears her throat and takes a big lungful of air. This isn't over. Katja smiles. And Katja smiled. That's okay. It would most certainly look that way, yes. And what a shame would it be then, wouldn't it? Think how lonely you'd have it without me. Ella's practically fuming now, but can't bring herself to say anything. She just stares angrily at Kaja for about a minute, rage simmering behind her eyes. The in-game music is a little bit too loud. That's weird. I literally didn't change anything in this setting. I think it's the current music, but how about I think that should be better. Thank you so much for letting me. No, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just. It's OBS and Twitch are weird sometimes. They randomly change their levels without anything being actually changed. It's an actual issue. I'm not lying. I'm not calling you a liar. Don't leave. I hope it's better than now. Thank you for telling me about that. It could just be the game music right now and not OBS or Twitch. With that, Ava beckons to her lackeys as storms off. Huh? But not without a noticeable rush and her stride. The other two girls follow suit and catch up with her. It's better, yes. Okay, wonderful. Soon enough, there is only silence. Natalia lets out a big sigh of relief and, visibly still shuddering, she wipes her eyes on the coupler's sleeve. So, how are you doing? How are you doing, Hopi? Are your hands warm? My hands? Yeah, I think so. Very warm. If they weren't, the weather would make them warm, because it's been hot as fuck here. um, okay, this might be even louder. How's that? You think so? So I need details. Temperature girl. It's a I don't know. I don't know the details. I'm warm enough. Yeah. That was very close. Are you okay? Did they hurt you or anything? Her green eyes shine again as she is reminded of my presence. Warm enough. Yeah, warm enough. No, but they were very scary. They just were dragging me off here and kept asking me for money. I was so nervous. She says that, but she has already bounced back to her old chipper self. Does anything ever faze this girl? Hey, people go differently. I can't give that much right away, though, of course. Sophia, she will be mad at me. Don't worry, there'll be no need for any of it. Please try to calm down. Natalia's gaze meets mine, and she blushes heavily. Taking a gulp of air, she approaches me and grabs my hand. I want to say thank you for stepping in, Erik. You were so very, very cool there. You sure showed them. Girl, thank Katja there. She saved us. Oh, it's nothing besides. I didn't do much. It's Katja here who did the most of the work. Yep. show them how much of a pathetic was I am, I guess, but even so, the sheer earnestness in Natalia's tones makes my heart skip a beat. What do you think of school uniforms idea? Of this school uniform specifically? She takes a step back and hurriedly turns to regard the tall young woman standing beside me. Yes, thank you too. You sure showed them as well. You're very welcome. And I'd have been a poor friend not to. She bows slightly the same way she did back with me and gives Natalia a big warm smile. I love her in general. I mean, depends. If it's a cool uniform, I like it. If not, then I'd rather wear my style, you know? She bows slightly the same way she did back with me and gives Natalia a big warm smile. I'm Kajagon from Mr. Josentine's class, originally from Linz, Austria. So she's from Austria. Would it still be Kaya? Yeah, school uniform. Old schools would do. I know, right? It's a pleasure to meet you. Realizing the cue, Natalia collects herself and bows in greeting, a bit more sloppily than usual. Natalia Petrovna Volkova, from Miss Karen's class. The honor is with me, Miss Kaja. They shake hands, though you couldn't tell that, seeing how Natalia's practically yanking Kaja's arm off her shoulder in her excitement. And what about the uniform and the game? How would you rate their dress? Is it swaggish, hella swank, pretty jazzy? Whatever words do you youngsters use these days? um, yeah, it's giving. It's like yeah, so again, thanks a lot back there, Kaja. I really have no idea what they would have done if you hadn't come. Don't worry yourself about it. As I mentioned, none of these girls with their records could do quite so much as afford to bother a pair of new students. I'd say you'd find this intuition exceedingly harsh on violence of any form. Well, I'm not that sort of person myself, naturally, nor is Miss Volkova, it appears. Natalia is good. She nods. All the same, I would advise against confronting them soon, at least out of sight of a teacher. It'd be stupid to try anything, but with the right type of person in mind, that's far from what I'd call assurance. That's rad, dog. Yeah. I expect her to laugh at her own joke, or at least acknowledge it. She doesn't, though. If anything, she looks genuinely thoughtful when she says it. Before you sounded like you know each other. She turns her eye towards me, her expression softening once more into a calming smirk. As it happens, you get to know all kinds of people around here. What was it that you talked about? A private matter, I'm afraid, none that should interest you. Suffice to say, you wouldn't meet a student in the school who hasn't been down at least once. They may lie about it, or they tell you they don't care, and some might think it's fun to shove in other people's face when it's their turn to trip and fall. speaking of school uniforms, I'm gonna move my plants into bigger pots tomorrow. Ooh, so excited. They're growing well, it seems. Which ones? Your peppers or the other plants? Very few of them, however, but I like it. If you reminded them of back when it was their own. It's a big stone to throw in a glass house. Glass house, huh? I nod quietly. The way she took control of the situation was pretty amazing, and I think a lot of it might just be how culture rolls. Peppers, ooh, cool. By the way, this is how they have done the. Where is that? The auto voicing. Nope. Never mind. Wait, okay, just wait. I only wrote peppers, well I wrote some basil, but it's hella chaotic, nothing too fancy. Basil and peppers, wonderful.
Self-voicing enabled. I nod quietly. The way she took control of the situation was pretty amazing, and I think a lot of it might just be how Katya rolls.
Oh god.
Self-voicing disabled.
Hey, we can use that to be able to find out the pronunciations. Okay. Next. At the same time, though, it's hard not to feel a little uncomfortable with what she said. I suppose in that light, she really was being considerate of Eva by not digging up all that dirt laundry right in front of us. Without even noticing it, my gaze passed over Katya's bandaged wrist-again. It's funny how much easier the eye patch is to forget about in comparison. I guess what she said applies to her just the same, not that I can imagine anyone who dared to hold it against her. Definitely not after today's show. Your PC crashed? Oh, I was saying that's pretty cool, papers and basil as well. Basil. And we can find out how to pronounce things with the help of self-voicing. Is there any way I can repay you, Miss Katya? I'm very, very thankful for your help, and how about a dinner? You can have dinner with us. My treat, Fran, Erik, you too. Sure enough, Fran has already crept up behind me. Oh geez, how can I say no to that? You didn't do anything. Katya's features didn't form a mask of apology. I'm grateful for the offer, but sadly I will have to decline. I've made an appointment already, and I tried to avoid going back on my promises whenever possible. Yeah, the mystery of Jazo's pronunciation will be revealed. Natalia, let me see if I'm pronouncing that one right.
Self-voicing enabled. Natalia looks like she'll press the issue anyway, and so I jump in before she can get another word in edgewise. Self-voicing disabled.
We understand. Well then, if there's nothing else I can help you with, I shall be off by your leave. Yes, have a good evening. Katya smiles and turns to depart. That could have gone uglier, definitely. All of you were very brave, Erik. And yeah, the bot. Why, thank you so much. As I said, you did precisely squat, Fran. Hey, picking your fights is a form of bravery too. Besides, I would have gone for help if things went south. But in the end, what matters is that it didn't, yeah? Gods will take over the world, no doubt. Yeah. More importantly, why were those girls after you in the first place, Natalia? Knowing that the dampens Natalia's exhilaration, she goes back to fidgeting as the delight in her smile shrinks to nervousness. Well, good question. But I met them right after classes at the second floor corridor of my building, and this girl, you know, the tallest of them, she was on the phone, and well, her phone had this cute little kitty cat keychain on it. Yes, I approached her and asked her to show the keychain to me. We had a bit of a struggle, and before I knew it, her phone goes to be flying out the side of the building. I can barely know it to be phone when we found it on the ground. Okay, oh god, girl, what did you do? I want to grow my own coffee too. I tried growing them from a seed I bought online, but no luck. Kinda want to try again. You should try again. That would be so cool to have your own coffee. For a solid few seconds, Fran and I just stare at her in silence as our minds process her story. I can almost feel my blood as it's draining out of my face. Anything wrong? Let's get this straight. You just up and tried to grab her phone, like right out of her hands. Girl. Yes? Jesus. So she does have a cause to be angry at you, if nothing else. I just wanted to see you touch it. Natalia, you don't simply grab people's cell phone right out of their hands. It's rude. This girl is a catastrophic threat to her own safety, I swear. Even Fran blends in a weird mixture of amazement and dismay. But Sonisha doesn't get angry when I do it. They're not Sonisha, my love. Oh wait, how do you pronounce that? Can we go back? Well. It takes 3 years until it grows.
Self-voicing
You
enabled.
can collect the coffee to
Back.
Wow, okay. Huh? Sir, what?
Self-voicing disabled.